Good day. Hope everybody is doing well. Let's see, what do we want to do? Get started shortly. Come on in. Thank you guys for joining. Give me a second. We will get started shortly. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just want to kind of come in and kind of take some deep breaths and blow off some steam and fear and doubt. Yeah, go ahead. I'll let the music play for a little bit. Let's kind of make sure we're in the right mindset to receive what we got, what's going on, what I'm going to release today. Okay. So take some deep breath, hold it for a count of 5, and then release. Take another deep breath, hold it, go up by 1 for a count of 6, and then release. Just relax. Sometimes we come in here, we can't really hear correctly because we have so much clutter in the back of our minds already of our day-to-day life and what's happening and what's going on. Yeah, the room on Clubhouse was bugging out on me. I just got your message. Keep taking your deep breath. Good day, everybody. We're taking deep breaths. We're slowing it down. You know, we like to go. And we don't slow down enough to really see, feel, and hear God. So I want us to do that with the music, taking your deep breaths and just relaxing. Exactly. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys as always. Those of you on YouTube, those of you on Clubhouse, those of you on Wisdom, just relax. Take a couple more seconds to take a deep breath. I hope you have your notebooks. I want to welcome everybody to World Changers with Somali Brown, mandated to be the defender of humanity, protector of mankind. I'm bringing you thought-provoking, mind-shifting wisdom. Please grab a notepad and a pen and prepare for a paradigm shift in the next 30 minutes. In and out, you guys. In and out. So we'll go ahead and get started. How is everybody? If you're doing pretty well, drop a 1. Sometimes we just got to slow it down. Even in worship, sometimes you just got to slow it down. Drop a 1. Let me know how you're doing. You're doing pretty good. Drop a 1. It's been intense. We cannot deny that. But all I can tell you guys to continue, to help you continue, is don't give up. We're at the finish line. Some of us have crossed the finish line. Some of us have started to see glimpses and receive exactly what it is that we're supposed to be receiving. Some of it is definitely still in the natural, and that is okay. I mean, in the spirit realm, and that is okay. We've deconstructed time in this community before, but I think we may need to do that again. I'm just going to see which way he wants us to go today. I need you guys to understand that time is not real. Time does not exist. It's man-made, okay? It is not. Time is relevant. That's why sometimes you're like, oh my God, time is flying. And other times, oh my God, time is going by so slow. I literally was driving home from swimming the other day, and I was just like, it would be crazy if we have been living one day, and just because it goes light to dark, and they told us that this is the time, we've created days, and it's literally just one long day. And time, there is no time. Like, we can't fathom what time really is. They've constructed that to confine you. They've constructed time to have dominion over you. Time constricts you. Time puts you in a box. Time hurts us. And he already tells us that it's totally opposite. One day is like 1,000 years with him. He's already told us that. And time is a lesser dimension. And we've got to raise above that. So I guess he wants me to go into time. And we need to understand that time works against you. It really does. Because you're always rushing. Think of the fruits of time. You got to rush. You got to make sure you're not late. You got to make sure you're on time. You got to make sure you hit deadlines. It brings anxiety. It brings worry. It brings doubt. Look at the fruit of it. And then many of you are probably like, well, how do you deconstruct time in your life? How do you move away from the mindset of time, the concept of time? You have dominion over it. Do you know how many times, and I just did this with a client of mine. You know how many times I've been late and I'm like, God, slow down time. And when I get there, they had issues, and they're like, oh, we were late anyway, so no worries. You know how many times I'm driving from middle of Texas to Atlanta, and it's a good hike, and I'm like, God, oh, I'm so tired. It's just me. If my husband doesn't come and I'm driving the full thing, and I'm like, can you time warp us there? Can you speed up? And sometimes I just be talking. Most of the time I just be talking, and he honors it. And my kids be like, Mommy, didn't you ask him to speed up time? I'm like, yeah. They're like, where are we? And I'm like, we're in Alabama. They're like, dang, that was quick. We have dominion over time, you guys. We do. But half of you don't exercise it. Stop and hold up everything until I get there. Don't let nothing happen until I get there. If that is God's will, it will happen. God says we have dominion over everything. Why is time excluded? It's not. It's time that you guys become Lord over your own time. As it is in heaven, as it is on earth. When we ascend, and many of you have not ascended with me, but those of you who have in the community, when we go through ascensions, when we literally go up and we go into the heavenly places, seated in heavenly places, and we see things, there's nobody rushing around, hustling and bustling. You're not late. You don't feel rushed. You're actually enjoying that time, and everything is as it should be. Okay? Everything is done by his sovereign will and in his sovereign divine timing. We've done the Kairos time. We've did that, I think, last year or the year before. And Chronos, the difference between the two and being out of it. There's no toiling in the kingdom. All that tarrying that you guys were taught, ain't no need. Not when you go in the right way. Not when you are invited. Not when you automatically open your mouth as a God on this earth, little g, or someone who has dominion and know your authority. No, you ain't got to toil. Absolutely not. I ain't never heard of toil until I got into the church. I was like, what is that? If I ask God to come, he comes. What is toiling? So I want you guys to understand that we need to walk in union with divine nature and divine timing, and that everything is done in God's rest. Why do you think he said, I need you to rest? I know this is pretty heavy. I pray that it's hitting y'all's spirit. I really do. I pray that you guys are understanding every word that I'm saying. If you are, please drop a 2 in the chat if you guys are hearing me. If your spirit is, if this is confirming in your spirit. A lot is done in God's time. Okay. And what happens when God is not here yet? God, we're waiting for it. God, this is due. Okay, it's due. Okay, it's due on earth. But God is footing this bill. You told me to quit my job. You told me to resign. You told me my marriage was on its way and it's not here. You told me I was moving from this place to that place with my spouse and he's not here, she's not here. So then you're not moving yet. So why fret? Okay, I told you guys when I resigned, when God told me back in 2007, I'm going to tell my story. I haven't told it in a while, and a lot of us are in this place right now. 2007, I heard God say, I need you to quit your job. I had just bought a condo in the heart of Atlanta in Buckhead, okay? And it was in Sidney Marcus. I was young and I was just like, okay. But hear my words, my goal, my plan was to climb up the ladder in, luxury retail because I was cool. That's what I studied. That's what I wanted to do. I loved what I did. I was literally one of my only friends who was doing my job that my degree was, because that's a thing. And God says, quit. And I was like, you want me to quit? I just got a really good job. I'm finally getting stable. I just bought a condo and I got to quit. He said, I'll give you a month. That month was torture. What do I do? What do I not do? Ask my parents. They fussed at me. We didn't talk. In a Latin Caribbean home, I talked to my mom 3, 4, 5 times a day. That month I didn't talk to her for it was hard. My brother didn't understand. My sister, my cousins, everyone was like, God wouldn't tell you to quit the only source of income. It says if you don't work, they quoted all kind of scriptures. I was just like, look, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know God does. And they all backed up. And I decided to go ahead and resign. And I had nothing in the bank except for my 2 weeks vacation and my last check. So that was a pretty big check. But then when that came, he said, tithe all of it and you live off of 10. I was just like, you got to be kidding me. He said, do it. I said, all right. So I tithed 90 and I lived off of 10. That I stayed in the condo without having to pay anything until December. So August, September, October, November, 5 months I stayed in there. Not a light went out. There was always food in the refrigerator. The water didn't go out. And when I checked the bills in the mail said light will be cut on September 16th. It was October 2nd. I was just like, oh, I guess that didn't work. When I say he showed himself because I trusted, relied, put my complete and utter existence in him like a child. I wasn't worried at all. My parents were more worried. My brother was like, yo, we need to come get your stuff because at any moment they could come lock the doors and all. And I'm like, no, no, no. But then God used my brother. They came, they took all my stuff so that they wouldn't lock the doors. They never locked the doors. That wasn't my portion. Did I know that? No. But I listened to outside voices to help guide me because I didn't know what I was doing. And then on the last day when my dad was like, well, I got a job. I'm heading to Iraq. I want you to, since you're the youngest and you ain't working anyway, go home and be with your mom. So I put the keys on the counter and I called SunTrust and said, I'm giving you back the condo. There was not a worry in my body. God told me to do it. Why wouldn't it work? God told me to do this. Why wouldn't it work? That was my mindset. And that's still my mindset today. You're telling me to be love. You're telling me to be a container of love. You're telling me to just love and you'll do the rest. Why won't he do the rest? That's just how I operate with God. My mind is just, if you tell me to do A and you're going to do B, I trust that you're going to do B. You've never failed me. And that was before I even knew who he was. So I moved back to my parents' house and everyone's like, well, did you get a foreclosure? I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't even, the things that I started to worry about were things that people brought to me. I wasn't concerned about none of that. Then I called my girlfriend and said, hey, can you check my house, my condo and see if it was sold? Because right when I was moving out, I saw it with blood on it. So I said, oh, it's saved. It's saved. It's cool. It's going to be mine, which helps me to see that sometimes we get a vision and we see partial and we run with it. I saw blood over my condo. So I was like, my condo not going nowhere. That's going to be mine. Well, April of that next year, which would have been 08, it was sold. But upon being sold, it saved my credit because it said initiated foreclosure. But the month of April, it initiated foreclosure. But the end of the month, it was sold. Never hit my credit. They had to take it off. Then the 50,000 that they sold it for 200 and tried to get me to pay the 50. And they kept calling and kept calling. I had just gotten married a year later. So this is 2 years later. In 09, my husband goes, why don't you get a lawyer? I didn't think about that. I said, all right. But listen to him. When he got a lawyer, they called me. I said, actually, you know what? I have a lawyer. Can you call my lawyer? I ain't never hear from SunTrust again because they were doing it illegally. Never heard from them. And then I think in 2014, they paid that debt off. That condo never hurt me. Never hurt me. Never. Do you hear me? Didn't hit my credit. Never had a foreclosure on my credit. Then when they tried to come after me for 50K, that had to be that lawyer. All I said was my lawyer. They didn't even verify. Never heard from them again. And I haven't changed my number. My number's been the same since 05. Then in 14, we got something in the mail that said we had $50,000 in revenue. And my husband goes, what the heck? For their taxes. And it said SunTrust paid off your debt. You guys, because I trusted him. I relied on him. You told me to give up my condo. You're not going to tell me to give up a condo and then hurt me with it. You're not going to tell me to give up my family and then hurt me with it. You're not going to tell me to quit my job and then make me homeless. You're not going to do that. And if he does it, there you go. 1099-C cancel. There you go. There's the name of it. Anybody want to know? It took years for that to come through. And I didn't push for it. I don't even know how it came through. Thank you for that. I don't even know. We just got it in the mail one day. Washed. Never affected me. Never. And then on the flip side of that, it began my ministry. My gifts just exploded. I didn't know I was a healer. I didn't know I was a prophet. I didn't know none of those things. I didn't even know what those were. You guys, I didn't even have a church. This was just me in my condo working. And I had a dream and I heard resign. And I was like, I know I didn't hear that right. And I heard it again. And I was just like, okay. We're going to have to, he said, by September 1st. I gave you all of August. This is my time of year. And I tell you guys, know the time of year where your transition always happens. I always switch jobs. I always move. I always switch major things during this time of the year. So it wasn't far fetched. Why am I telling you this story? Because I defied the odds. The God in me gave me the strength to defy the odds. Also, with time, I've defied time plenty of times. The concept of life and death, I've defied that. I've died and I've come back. There's so many things that all of us can do, but we're confounded to these boxes and these rules. And that is not our fault. That's the way we were raised. That's the concept. But just experiment with God. Is I always You guys always hear me say experiment with God. Experiment. God is reigning. I remember when I did join a church and I still had a perm, I think then, I think. And we were in a van and we were coming back from riding around feeding the homeless and it started raining. I said, look, I just did. And I said it out loud. And this is just me being me. Look, I still don't know these things. Still didn't know about the stories in the Bible. Didn't know nothing. God, it's raining. I need you to stop that rain so that I can get out this car and my hair don't get wet. And it's pouring cats and dogs in Atlanta. Noonan to be exact. And we pull up to the church and it just stops cold turkey. And the pastor turns around and said, who said that prayer? And they all said Somalia. He was just like, huh, you got a powerful word in you. I still didn't know what he meant. I just knew that it worked. So anytime I needed God to change the weather, he would do it. Because I would just say things. Experiment with your power. That is the only way you will know what you can and cannot do. And I'm going back to time. I have a deadline to meet. God, slow down time. I have a bill that's due and I don't have the funds. Slow down time so that I can make sure that I pay this bill. You don't know what's going to happen and don't expect it to work a certain way. Just let it work. I asked God to slow down time. I'm waiting for him to slow it down. Let's see what happens. Because you don't realize you're in it. Oh shoot. Until you're in it. And what happened is he slows down time. He speeds up time and you're just like, oh my God, I made it in time. You're like, oh shoot. And it's not even speeding and bobbing and weaving on the highway. No, you're literally just driving. I need you guys to come into union with divine nature and time. The kingdom mentality is no toiling. Everything is done in his rest. Everything is done in perfect timing, which is why when you join this community, the first trying to block my voice. The first thing I teach you is you're never late. Because that's what the world teaches you. You're late. No, there's no time. You're not late. I don't care if you just hopped in this live just now. You're not late. You're right on time. You're hearing exactly what you need to hear. Now, if you want to go back and listen, then that's on you. You are always at the right place at the right time. You got to see it that way. My entire reality is rigged in my favor for time. There goes another affirmation. My entire reality is rigged in my favor when it comes to time. Time is always on my side. Simple. Shift your mindset. He's raising us up, okay, to activate us in a position where time is no longer in control of us. But you got to let go of that concept of time. Like my kids are learning now. I'm teaching them this. Because my dog, they're learning about money now. We're teaching them about budgets, like really teaching them, not just saying, "Oh, we're not on budget for that," or "We have a budget." Like that's the word we use instead of broke or don't have it, because we don't want them to learn that terminology. You want to do better, right? You know better, you do better. So we're changing the word, but we do have old school. My parents, his parents, friends that I was just like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna work and just die," and I'm just like, no. That's not what you're going to do. Like I have to uproot seeds as soon as they come. Because what I'm planting, the enemy's trying to plant the other. Because if a kid can get it at 12 or 10, that the concept of time is not real, it's relative, my God, the sky is the limit for them. Okay? If you don't take dominion, become Lord over your time, it will exercise power over you like it's doing right now. I'm too old. I'm too old to get married. Time has passed to have kids. Says who? Of course, the ideal is young so you can grow with them. But hey, if that wasn't in your cards, have it when you can have it. We've got this construct of it has to be on a timeline. Time again. No, we have dominion over time. And it's time to take control of time and you begin to manage it and release yourself from the control and the manipulation of time because it is manipulative. It'll tell you you're late and you'll be rushing, you'll get in an accident, and then you'll really be late. Or it'll tell you you're late and you're rushing and you get there and they're just like, oh, calm down. We're good. We postponed it about 30 minutes. You're good. Have you ever been trying to get on a flight? That happens all the time, especially for me. Especially for me. I am getting on a flight and my sister, I have a lot of family members, my sister and a couple of cousins and that work for the airline. So I get to fly with their buddy pass or their companion and they'll be like, oh, it doesn't look good. I'm like, all right. God, am I supposed to go? Yep. All right. They're like, it doesn't look good. I'm like, okay, I heard you. And I'll get out and they'll be like, how the heck did you? God told me I was going. So after a while, they're just like, look, Somalia is different. Just let her go. How many of you know about buddy passes? Drop a one in the chat. How many of you understand how buddy pass works? So I know if I need to explain it or not. Buddy passes, there's a couple of you that put a one. Buddy passes, for those of you who may not know the ins and outs, is you basically pay the taxes for someone who works in an airport and you are allowed to go if someone misses their flight or if they oversold or if they're undersold and they have a whole bunch of seats available, but you got to go last, right? So back in 07, when I quit my job and I started traveling the US and my gifts started to explode, I had one buddy pass for 1 year, you guys. Hear me, those of you who truly understand buddy passes. One buddy pass for 1 year. The guy, my sister's friend who gave it to me, said, how in the world are you doing that, Somalia? One buddy pass. And I would call them and say, I'd like to go from here to Oregon. They'd be like, okay. I'd get to Oregon, stay there about a week. I'd call and say that buddy pass, I'd like to change it to now go from Oregon to LA. And then from LA, I skipped Louisiana. I went from Atlanta to Louisiana, Louisiana to Oregon, Oregon to LA, LA to Texas, and then Texas to Atlanta. He said, I've never heard it. And I ask everybody, they don't know how you did it. That was God. Because I was ordained to be in each one of those places at that time. To this day, he's like, I cannot understand how you used one buddy pass like 6 or 7 times. That's unheard of. I said, someone told me you could. He's like, who? I was like, someone in the airport. An angel. I was sitting there and he's like, you want to pass? Because I kept looking at the screen. I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, me too. He's like, you could use the same one. I said, yeah. He said, yep, just call them. Gave me everything to say, and it worked. My job. I do not live in this world, but that is my mindset. Before I even understood the concept of mindset. 2003, I'm young and working at this job, and it was admissions rep for American Intercontinental, if anybody knows it. They preyed on minorities. It was a crazy tuition, 70,000 a year, 75,000 a year for a piece of paper. Sorry, but it wasn't worth it. Same piece of paper I got. And the reason why I knew it wasn't worth it is because they only preyed on kids whose parents worked at McDonald's, whose parents worked at those type of jobs. They weren't going to go to nobody who has a bachelor because they knew it wasn't worth it. They were selling them dreams that were impossible. And I got there, didn't know that. And I was one of the top sellers. And then I started realizing what I was doing. I was like, I can't do this. I have a conscience. Everybody else was like, well, I mean, it's them. They have a decision to make. So I started telling the truth and my number started dropping because I'm like, dude, I have the same degree you're about to get. And I paid, granted, I had a scholarship. But even if you go to a state school, it's still less than this. You don't have to come here. It's not FIT in New York at all or SCAD. It was a knockoff. So my numbers started to drop. So of course I got put on a performance plan. I'm like, all right, cool. God tells me, I need you to quit. I said, okay. Because this was before the other one, but I'm obedient. He goes, I need you to quit. I'm like, all right. And this was a lot of money. This is the most money I've ever made in a regular 9 to 5, like literally like 45 up. And I said, all right. And I went to them because I was already like, I can't do this. I didn't like it. So the day I went in to resign was the day they were going to put me on the performance plan and possibly fire me. And look at how the tables turned. I give them he goes, well, Small, your numbers were really great for the first 3-4 months. And then now they're just lagging. What's going on? I said, I can't do it. He goes, why? I said, da 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 da. And I said, he goes, well, we're going to have to. I said, well, actually, hold up. Here's my resume. No, 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 no. We don't want you to go. It shifted so quickly. The power shifted. Okay. And I said, here's my 2 weeks. He goes, what? I said, here's my 2 weeks. He goes, no, we didn't want you to leave. We were just that. No, I'm good. I quit. And then one of my friends, as always, says, you can get unemployment. I said, but I quit. She's like, just try. You never know. I went for unemployment. I got denied. I said, I told you. I said, but they asked me if I want to appeal. She goes, appeal. I was like, I quit. How can you get unemployment when you quit? She goes, Smile, just do it. I said, all right. I appealed, and hear how I got my unemployment for an entire year. The guy who was supposed to rebuttal me went on vacation and forgot. Tell me that wasn't God. And I got unemployment because of a glitch for a whole year. And I told a couple people in the company, they all quit, and then they tried to do it. He didn't miss not one. They appealed, and he made sure he was there for everyone. Because he got reamed, because they had to pay me for that. When I tell you, you do not belong to this world, this time, this reality, I'm telling you from experience. Nothing ever works out the way it's supposed to in this world when it comes to me, because I don't believe it can. Period. If I have a bill that's due and I'm like, God, I ain't got it. I said, my birthright is for everything to be paid. It's going to come through somehow or another. And I leave it right there. I ain't thinking about that. That's beneath me to have to worry about that. But that's my mentality. Because I belong to the Most High. I belong to Him. And I do way too much work, way too much praying, way too much giving of myself. And I'm way too obedient for you to leave me out here. And I truly believe that. And that's why I'm telling you guys, as long as you are doing, His word even says, as long as you honor me, honor my statutes, turn the other cheek. That's not perfection. I am not perfect. I fall short just like you. I have issues just like you. I have insecurities just like you. My freaking vice is fear. But I know what to do. The same tools I give you. I know how to press through. The same tools I give you. If I need to release something, I'm going and I'm making sure I release it. Like, I was not saying any names, but I was on a call yesterday with one of our members. And I said, get in position and let God take everything out. He's already started digging. One of these days, last week, I travailed 5 times in one day. That's how heavy it had got. And I was like, I'm not wearing this. I'm not carrying this. Get it off of me. What do I need to do? Water in the grass. I travailed outside. Came back inside. Put some music on. Travailed. Just God. And then I actually said, and I said this yesterday, God, what are my tears worth to you? How much I do. And it's not about works, because I'm not talking about salvation. I'm talking about I have dedicated my life to you. How much are my tears worth to you? Show me. These are the prayers that you pray, and they move God's heart, not His hand. We're not after His hand. You're after His heart. You're after His eyes on you. And when you put that back in His face, because His word says your tears are precious and I bottle them up, well, then show me. because I am crying out and you're not moving, or I don't see you moving. I just need to see something. I think I prayed that a week ago. And yesterday, God answered me. Now he answered me that day by showing me some movement. He moved some things. He moved some pieces on the board, and I saw it, and it helped me to exhale. But yesterday, he literally answered me, and I wonder if it's because I brought it up again yesterday. I was on TikTok, and this lady said, "Oh my God, your tears are precious," and I stopped. I froze, and she goes, "Your tears are so precious; they're sacred. When you cry, all of heaven moves." When I tell you that shook me to my core, I didn't ask him to speak back. I just asked him to show me. But he even went a step further and answered my cry. She said, "Heaven moves, archangels move, and woe to the person that made you cry, made you shed a tear." These are the things that I teach you. I don't just give of myself and be this transparent for you guys to be like, "Oh, good story." No, I'm a trailblazer. I go through before you so you don't have to. And I give you the answers. You make it your own. You go pray your prayer. "God, I've been in this for a long time. I've been like this for a long time. I have shed tears too. What are my tears worth to you?" And see what he shows you. Then you know where you stand. I went over the Lazarus prayer yesterday for a specific reason. When you are obedient, and I keep going to that because the thin straw. That is the line. Whatever he tells you to do, you got to do it. Then you have a leg to stand on to go back and be like, "Okay, that's just like you being a parent or a godparent, or you got nieces. Go clean the room, go clean the bathroom, straighten up the living room, do your homework, and then we'll see." And if they do all of that, you will gladly bless them. You will gladly take them to go get a slushie or some whatever. But if they do half of it, you're like, "You didn't do it all." That's God to you. That's why I always put God in reference of us as parents. When your child is not fully obedient, you don't bless them as much. You take away. So me and my husband every school year used to get our kids at least 2 or 3 pairs of shoes, and we get them big so they can grow into it. So we don't have to buy anymore. This year, my husband's like, "I'm not doing that because y'all don't wear it." My daughter does. My boys don't. She's a girl, so she gonna wear different color shoes with different color outfits. So she gets two, but the boys, they get one. And I said, "Now you're gonna feel it, because we used to treat you one way. We used to give you a plethora of ways to wear your clothes. Now you're gonna be down to one, and you're gonna realize what you're missing." Because it was just like they don't wear it. So he's like, "I'm not wasting my money." Then they grow out of it because kids grow, and then they're brand new shoes I got to give away. So that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes God has given you so much and you squandered it. God has given you so much grace and you didn't appreciate it. So he had to tighten that rein back up and be like, "Okay, I got to keep you on a leash. I got to keep you real tight on a leash." So as long as you are obedient, and obedience doesn't always look good, obedience doesn't feel good, obedience can be quit your job. And you're like, "But that's my only source of income." And obedience can be quiet, "But this person is slandering my name." Obedience can be move here and just trust. "Yeah, but we don't have this, we don't have that." You have a laundry list of things you don't have. Obedience is sit still. Oh boy, that's a hard one. You talk about your 2-year-old who can't sit still, your 10-year-old little boy who can't sit still. How about a grown 40-year-old who can't sit still waiting for God? How about let's be real. Let's look in the mirror today. How about you 45 years old, 50, 30, and God says, "Sit still and wait on me," and you fidgeting, but you upset at your 10-year-old who can't do it? You can't even do it. See, we always got to look at our kids. We got to look at our kids. You get mad at your kid because they're fidgeting and they're all over the place, and you told them go do their work and sit down and be quiet. You can't even do that. How do you think God feels? And we're adults. I need you guys to let this sink in today. Look at your kids and you'll be able to see where you are. God is breaking things off of us in this season, things we've had for years that are so second nature you didn't even know was on you. And you're confronting and seeing new demons that you've never experienced before. A new one for me is intimidation. I told you I've never been intimidated. I will stand up against any of the best soccer teams and be like, we're gonna win. They're gonna be like, Smiley, but they've got like a 10-0 record. I don't care. I'll go on the track and stand next to the number one district winner and say, okay, God, let's go. I didn't get intimidated easily. But for whatever reason, in this season, intimidation has reared its ugly head one too many times for me. So, what am I doing? I'm doing my due diligence. I need to know what that thing is, how it shows up, what it smells like in the realm of the spirit, how it attacks me, what it's attached to, what door it's attached to, because you're not coming back and catching me off guard. Twice is enough for me. How many of you have been caught off guard by the same spirit in this season of being broken and you still haven't done your research to find out what it is by name? How many of you are seeing the same thing God is trying to take up out of you and you are on your knees and you're still trying to do it your way, going back to old habits? Someone literally just said this the other day and I forgot about this scripture. She said, and somebody quote me because I know y'all know it. I don't know it. I didn't look it up and I don't know where it is. I'm just going to say it. It's the one about a dog going back to its vomit. What is it? Where is it? Anybody? And literally, that just made me like barf in my mouth. Like going back to your old ways, going back to your old mentality, going back to skimming, lying, cheating, going back to trying to cut corners, asking for hookups, going back to doubting is like a dog going back to its vomit. Intentionally. Just put that picture in your mind because that's how sickening it is to your spirit. And you actually have gotten rid of it, but you bring it back willingly. Who got it for me? As a dog returns to its vomit, so fools repeat their folly. Thank you. Proverbs 26:11. I knew someone had it. Proverbs 26:11 for anybody who wants it. As so do fools repeat their folly. And then another version is, it just changes it. As a dog returneth to its vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. What are your follies? What are they? Because we all have them. Nobody's exempt. We know that. We all have them. But it's time. I told you we are in a season of learning mastery lessons. Not these little lessons that still tripped us up and made us fall. These are mastery lessons. What's the difference in a lesson and a mastery lesson? I told you yesterday. If you didn't hear yesterday's, go back. Bachelor's degree and your master's degree. If you want to know more about it, go listen to the one yesterday. I broke it down. These lessons that we're learning, you will see. Fear is not even an issue for me no more. It's been a plague my entire life, all my life from 6 months old. And now it has traded hands with intimidation. But where am I going? I'm being elevated. I've gone from being a disruptor to a defender of humanity. That in itself was intimidating. That's when it first reared its ugly head. And I was just like, whoa, what is this? I didn't shrink. I wasn't scared, but I was like, what is this I'm feeling? And that's when I had to figure out what it was because I didn't know what it was. And I was just like, oh, yeah, I don't know about this. So you are learning a mastery lesson. Some of you are learning a mastery lesson on poverty. When you get out of this, you will never see poverty again in your life. Some of you are learning a lesson in not being able to trust people, not being able to rely on people. When you get out of this, you will never see that again. Some of you are learning mastery in doubt and in fear. And when you get out of this, it's just like the Red Sea. See, everyone says, "Oh, he parted the Red Sea. He parted the Red Sea." That's not true. When you really go through a Red Sea moment in season, you don't see that demonic entity ever again. See, I didn't know that, because every year we'd hear, you're going through your Red Sea. God is parting the Red Sea for you. But I would still see fear. And I always question, like, well, why do I keep seeing the same demon that you said I wouldn't? This year, as we crossed in June, because we all crossed. Now it's just remember, I told you your natural has to slowly catch up. The spiritual realm has to slowly catch up when it comes into the natural realm. So it's taking time to manifest. I don't feel fear anymore. Fear is not my vice anymore. It is now intimidation, because I've mastered that. In June and May, those 2 months, I think I faced fear in a boxing match every day. And so did you. Whatever you have going on right now, May and June, oh, you faced that poverty head on. You faced that doubt head on. And I don't mean head on like normal. I mean, y'all were in a match and it went past 12 rounds, okay? But God parted that. And now what you're seeing is the remnants coming out. And as it comes out, what's going to transpire is you will never see that again. And some of us, it's more than one. Some of us, it's two things. So, anybody have anything they want to add? Anybody have anything they want to add, share, say on Clubhouse, on YouTube, on Wisdom? I just wanted to come on here to let you guys know that you are in a season to let go of time. Let go of the constraint of time. Let go of the constraint of I'm late, I'm ahead, I'm early, whatever. Remove it. And then you are in a mastery season. You don't want to see that demon again? Master it. You don't want to see that emotion again that keeps derailing you? Master it. You don't want to experience what you've experienced, especially in May and June? Master it. Go do your research. What is it that's coming against you? Learn it like the back of your hand, and I promise you it'll be gone, because you have elevated and you don't understand the power of who you are yet. Because there's more. Way more. So I don't see any hands. I don't see any comments. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. A couple of announcements, though. The All Fast starts August 18th. Those of you in the community and in the app, the registration is already in there. Those of you who received the email, you have until the 1st to respond, and then you will get the registration. Those of you in the app, this is not for you. I already gave you y'all, so you guys have everything you need. Those of you outside of the app, outside of the community, on Wisdom, on YouTube, on Clubhouse, you got an email. In that email, it says, please respond by August 1st. If I don't get a response, you're not getting the second invitation. The second invitation is the registration, where you're able to register to join the community, the private community. Okay. If you're not even on the list, it's still available. So on Clubhouse, it's up at the top. Please put your name in the box. And all I need you to do is put your name in the when you click the link at the bottom, and then you'll get the email that then gives you the invitation with all the thorough information. Read it. And once you read it, then let me know by texting if this is something you are interested in. And if you are interested, then you will get the registration link. Okay. Once you get the registration link, then you can sign up, and then you'll be in. And the doors open probably, I would say maybe around the 5th or the 6th, you'll be able to get into the community. Okay. Like all the way into the community. Right now, no one is in there. And that is because I'm setting everything up so that when you do get in there, you'll have everything you need. Okay. The off fast is a 40-day plus fast where we completely change our lives, completely change our lifestyle, what we eat, our bedtime, and we meet every day. I think the time is 4 a.m. Central Time. And what that does is it helps us to meet the King in the field in August and then go through all the high holy days. It will transform your life. It's an experience that you must experience. Other than that, I'm telling you, you fasted, but you have not fasted until you fasted like this. And I'm not tooting no horn. I can bring somebody up to let you know what I'm saying is legit. So I have one person on Wisdom and I have one person on Clubhouse. So let me go ahead and let the person on Wisdom up, and then we'll let you go on Clubhouse. Hopefully we can hear you because we've been having. Yay, we can hear you.
TGITD, thank God it's this decade. I appreciate, the advanced level. I think this time, can I share, because you really helped me think bigger, and I think big. Okay, my grade 5 book was about becoming prime minister, but then I realized that could be selfish. Okay, so the thing is, God could still call me to that next decade, but I already retired. And what I got from this is that even though I had this, I said, wow, my ex broke up with me last January, so I came back to Canada. And I had written, maybe 4 years ago, I wrote a check to myself for $1 million. And my house, at first, I sold it for $730,000 conditional home inspection 2 Novembers ago. I just wanted to go to Georgia. I was in Toronto. I just wanted to go to Georgia, buy my property down there with my ex. We could get married first and then, have our wedding night, do it and everything. But she broke up with me last January, and people understand it's a pretty simple thing. She was raised in a certain church. I won't say the name, but she thought I had to convert. And I've been reading the Bible since December 1st, 1986. It's not about an organization, but because she was brought up in that church in Georgia from 12 to 46, she's just programmed that way. So, and on top of that, she wanted me to get my mother to go down there to convert everything. And she thought otherwise I was going to hell. So that's not a gospel. So, I wanted to do this thing about organizations. It's like the kingdom of God is the organization. So the thing is, what I got from that is that I was 45 and I sold the property for $1 million. I said, wow, God's giving me freedom 45. And the thing is, God gave me a vision, not just my grade 5 book, but also in 1999, Bill Gates came and talked to us, and I said, if you could do that, I could do better. And I planned my whole career on one document, taking advice. In a sense, he said he'd do 2 things differently, and I don't worship money, so I wanted it to be free. So I incorporated Free Shares Incorporated to be the best at making people happy for free. The first for-profit corporation in the world with operations that I know of that has never charged anyone anything for anything and never will. Now, if you look back through the expanses of just the Western history, nobody's done that. 24 years, a corporation that just shares the gospel. Now, I have these other 2 companies, right? Toronto Poets, cost me my house at 33, and then PencePowerClub.com is a sole prop. I just had that on the side since 2010 when I had to sell my house. And then Dream Livers Club, Inc., 2018, but I was broke. So I said, my coach said, Dream Livers Club, which is a plan for millionaires living their God-given dream, is a better plan than Penn's Power Club. And I said, I know. Penn's Power Club that have knowledge. The thing is, knowledge without action. Knowledge isn't power. Okay, I know, I dispel misinformation. Knowledge isn't power. Saying knowledge is power, and a whole lot of people say that, right? But saying knowledge is power is like saying when the Exxon Valdez oil tanker spilled all the oil in the ocean, that heated up your house. Knowledge is not power. It is absolutely not. It's potential power. So PencePowerClub.com, we read books, write books, soar, live our God-given dreams. And your exercises are great. You write the vision, make it plain. You get the kids to write the vision. But listen, if that child writes down their vision and then they go just bury themselves and they never take any action, Okay, like, and this is serious, right? 15-year-old, she jumps off a second-story building. God has grace, and she was still okay. And you could get paralyzed from that. It's dangerous, right? And besides the fact that you would die, but she jumped off it. So you understand that just because she had the knowledge not to do that, they told her not to do that. Just because, you can have the kids write the vision, but they have to act on it. So we're all kids. Mm-hmm. If God says that you should quit your job and you can get an abuser or whatever, right? Or anything. If you don't take action, how can he make your dream come true? I'm president of Dream Livers Club Incorporated. I keep forgetting the honor of being the founder of that. So thank you, because you helped me remember.
I love it. You're welcome. Thank you. That was awesome. I appreciate that. Yes, and thank you for helping me go right into the next thing. Script for Success. Script for Success, the one that's current on August 5th, is for kids. It's for young adults and kids. It's for ages 8 to 22. But I am having one for adults. If you want information for the adults, it's go to the bottom of that link and put your email in the box and hit submit. But if you have a kid that you want to sign up, click register now. I'm going to teach you the revelation that God gave me on write the vision, make it plain so that he who sees it can run with it. Because many people don't understand what that he who sees it, who that is. Many of you have prophetically written so many things and it hasn't gone anywhere. And let's just be real. It hasn't gone anywhere. It hasn't blown up the way God told you it would. You saw it in your dream. You felt it in your bones. And you're just like, why isn't this book doing what it's supposed to? Why isn't what I'm writing doing what it's supposed to? Because you're missing one key component. He who sees it will run with it. That's not you. And you're missing on how to get that he who sees it to run with it. So I'll put that link up as well. It's Script for Success. So first is the All Fast. If you want to join the All Fast, it is available. The time is now. The second one is the Script for Success. And that right now is what I did last year is pray in the park. I prayed for the kids. We got to cover our babies, and I be danged that anybody go to my kids' school, wherever they are. Oh, there's legions upon legions upon legions of angels that surround that school. They will never be in a school that is shot up by God's grace, because every year and every chance that I get, I do what I teach you guys to do at their school. And that's what we do for Prayer in the Park. That's not happening. And any kid that's associated with my kid is just going to get the benefits of the blessings and the God-given birthright on my kids, because I'm enforcing them. And that's what I'm teaching you guys. I did that last year. This year, I want to do something with the mind. So Prayer in the Park was last year. This year, I'm probably still going to do some kind of prayer when school starts, just because that's who I am. But this year, it's Script for Success. If you have a fourth grader or a senior in college, I'm going to show them how to prophetically write out their entire school year so that it happens the way they see it and envision it, and God wants it. So that they're not bullied, so that they're not getting bad grades, so that they're not just floating through school, but they're literally, like you said, you wrote a book in 5th grade. Who says our kids can't be used in kindergarten? Who says our kids can't be used in 5th grade? My kids are used all the time. No lie. My little girl now, she's 10, and she was with the one girl who is probably, I think she's 10, and she was singing one of Beyonce's songs. I don't knock anyone because I don't put my mouth on nothing that I'm not supposed to. So the little girl was singing Beyonce song, and my daughter goes, "What's that?" Who? She goes, "You don't know Beyonce?" Let me tell you how my God works, because that is a quick, fast, oh, you don't know nothing. That's a quick way to make a kid feel weird, right? Mommy, why can't I listen to Beyonce? Why do we do this? And why can't I? Okay, real quick, right? What happened was God had an angel in place. And in that angel in place literally said, oh, her mom, an angel in the form of a kid. Oh, her mom, they don't listen to stuff like that. Shut it down right then and there. Shut it down. That's how you make sure your kids are always surrounded by the right people. That's a prayer that I teach. There's a certain prayer that I pray for boys and girls. My kids are never alone in the spirit realm and in the natural. She doesn't know how to defend herself. She didn't know how to stand up and be like, she was just like, no, I don't know who that is. I mean, that's someone everybody knows, right? Everybody knows her names, not mine, for very much good reason, especially my daughter, for those of you know what's on her life, especially what's on her life. But that little girl could have easily derailed that and threw a monkey wrench and dropped some seeds into her that would make her go possibly sneak or do something. Nah, the angel rose up and the girl was like, oh no, it's fine if she doesn't. Her mom just don't let her do that. And they dropped it and kept it moving. That was an angel. And that was God protecting her. So Scripting for Success, you guys, is available. It's August 5th. It's only an hour. I'm gonna teach our little ones, okay, how to script, how to write, how to prophesy through their words. We've already told them their words are powerful. When they speak, I want to show them that they can write what they want for school. And then when school is done in a year, they will absolutely see what they wrote come to pass. And that's going to change the whole trajectory of their mind in a year. So, all right, Miss, is it Kimmy?
Okay, good evening, Somalia. Thank you. So I saw a pop-up on my phone because I had filled the form for the All Fast.
Okay.
And then I saw another pop-up and then I filled it. But I didn't get any email. So I heard you saying earlier that we ought to have gotten an email. That's why I was a little bothered. I didn't know. Maybe, I don't know, because it just popped up on my screen. I don't know if that was effective or not. That's why.
Okay, so if you put your email in the All Fast link, that what's your email? Send me your email. I don't want you to put it out here. Send me your email and then I'll see if it's in the list. And if it's not on the list, then that
back
might
channel or on Instagram.
be
Should I
Instagram.
send a back channel or Instagram?
Instagram.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Because yeah,
Thank you.
one went out July 25th, an email with the invitation. One went out July 27th with an invitation. So there's two invitations that have already gone out. And we want to make sure that you got it. And the invitation has all the information in it. And then at the very bottom, it gives you in bold red the date to respond yes or no. So if you didn't get an email with all the information like that, then yeah, it probably didn't go through. So if you want to just go ahead and click on the link that was on here and see if it says you already signed up, you can do that. And then, or if not, you can see if it goes through. But yeah, send me your email. I'll double check and then we'll go from there.
I'll send you the Instagram. Thank you.
Perfect. Absolutely. So, anybody else have anything? Anybody else have anything? I want to make sure that if you signed up, you got the email. I want to make sure that if you are interested in the All Fast, any of your questions, please email executive.assistant@smallybrown.com because the timing is definitely dwindling. The All Fast starts on the 18th. It's over on October 6th, and we hit the ground running. There's no warming up to it. There's no getting ready for it. We hit the ground and we run. Okay. All right. I think we've been on here long enough. Thank you guys so much. So you know the deal. You guys, whatever hit your spirit today, move on it now. Whatever hit your spirit, move on it right now. Whether it's the time, Lord of Time, the if you've been challenged and charged with dropping things that you think you need in the world, I'm gonna tell you right now, when I gave up my condo and when I quit that job, every time I had to be obedient was life changing and life altering for me. And what it did in my mindset as I close is it proved to me that God is with me. And it broke, when I gave up my condo, it broke mammon off of me. When I quit my job, it broke the rest of the mammon off of me. Mammon is the god of money. It broke it off of me. But it doesn't matter if God puts you in a place where he's trying to break money off of you, but you keep running back to needing money. You don't need money. I don't need money. I want money. I don't need it. There's a difference. I don't need it to survive. I don't need it to take care of my kids. I want it. I desire it because God broke the need. I am not at the money's mercy. I don't have a 9 to 5 and my bills are always paid. If it's late, it's because I forgot. If it's late, it's because I misstepped, not because the money wasn't there. I don't need money. And I can say that with no conviction and 100% believe it. How many of you can say you don't need money and when you say it, your body feels a kind of way? I don't need it because my God prepares. He provides and he takes care of me. And whatever I need, I will give whatever he tells me to give. I may still kind of hesitate here or there, but I give what I need to give. And that's a whole nother topic on tithing because I don't, you guys would think I tithe every month like the Bible says. I don't. Or not like the Bible says, as the Bible has been. I don't even want to go there. Anyway, I want to skip over that. Those of you who caught that, you caught that. I'm going to leave that right there. But yes, the way I give is totally different. It's a Hebraic faith of giving. I don't give the way most people give, but it takes care of me and my family. Yeah. Amen. She caught that. Perfect. So, all right, you guys. Thank you for those of you who moved quickly. I will let you guys, and those of you who moved quickly in the All Fast, you've already registered. You're good to go. We have a video that I'm going to give to you. I'll allow you in. I'm going to put you into the community, the private community, by the 1st, and there is a video that you need to watch. This video is for those who join early, and then when on the 18th. When everybody else joins, I will remove it because this is a blessing God told me to give to everyone who joined early. So if you are joining and you're lagging or you're thinking about it, get in there ASAP because this video right here, I stumbled upon it yesterday and that thing blew my world. And I said, oh, this could be the video. He goes, it's not for everybody. It's only for those who are quick movers. It is only for those who move and trusted me, some who didn't have a job, some who have a job and they're willing to give their last to join, some who have it and they don't mind giving it, some who just see it and say, you know what, I don't need to pray about this. I'm going to do it. I don't know what it is. It's foreign to me, but I'm going to do it. Only those will get this. So if you are on the fence, hopefully that'll push you over. This video is mind-blowing and it's only for those who join before the 1st. Okay, after the 1st, the video will not be available. I'm gonna let those see it when they join the community, and then when everybody else joins on the 18th, it'll be removed. So thank you guys. Any questions, any comments, you can reach me at Real One on Instagram. You can also reach me at executive.assistant@smallybrown.com. And please follow me on YouTube, you guys. Trying to get my YouTube followers up. I'd appreciate that. If you are following me on Wisdom, all 24 of you, YouTube, I do post some things that are a little different right now. It's kind of the same, but I do every so often pop some old videos on there and go more in depth. And if I don't show up on Wisdom, if I don't show up on Clubhouse, it's always on YouTube. If I show up on Clubhouse, I delete it and put it on YouTube. So my YouTube handle is I am Somalia, or you can look up Somalia Brown. All right, you guys, look forward to this office. Look forward to some of you being on the Script for Success. Any links you ever need, you already know how to get it. Oh, hold on one second. Did you mean to do that? Was that an accident? You're welcome. Yeah. Hey, just wanted to remind the note that I put one earlier today. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, as the All Fast begins, this is a time of rest for the community. Many rest, some don't, but that's up to them. When we do the All Fast, it is very intense. It is very, very heavy in a good way. So we pull back as a community. I will not be on as much. I will be pulling things out of the vault only on YouTube. So if you are following me on Clubhouse, which is why I'm telling you to follow me on YouTube, I will post old things, things that are relevant but not new, and I may pop in here and there. It's just that is a time for me to let God take everything out of me that I've been through, and you guys who join the off fast, because that's what it is. It's repentance. So I remove everything, I get clean, I get refreshed, and then when I come back in October, we hit it running with a bang. So you will not see me as often, but the community is still there. I just like to let people know because you're not used to that. And see, that's another thing I'm okay with. The first time God told me to do that, I had like crap loads of people. I had like 60,000, 60,000. Okay, God. I had like 60 people in my room on a given day on Clubhouse. And he was just like, all right, it's the off fast pullback. And I was just like, but we're going to lose them. You know, our mindset, we're going to lose them and the numbers and this and that. He goes, pull back. And people aren't used to that. They think you're done. They think you've gone away. So I like to teach my community because your community learns from you. So anyone who is a leader, teach your community how you want them to see you, how you want them to flow and learn from you. And I take a break because I can't keep going. I'll be no good. If I'm no good for me, I'm no good for you. I go through to give you stuff. I go through, you learn from my mistakes. So if I keep going, I'm going to burn out, and I'm not doing that. So, because I'm a mother and a wife, and I've got, things to do. So, I'm not leaving the door open. See, I'm not leaving the door open for the enemy to come in with stress and health issues. I don't do that. And I'm teaching these guys that by example. So August, September, and part of October is going to be very limited, but you will still get things. If you're on the exclusive email, this is when this really becomes key, because then you'll know when we're coming back. You'll know all the information on what's going on, what we're doing, what we have planned coming back in October. We always take a hiatus. So those of you on Wisdom, this is your first time, you will see we're very limited when we come in, but if as long as you're on the email list, you will know everything we're doing. If we have any webinars, you'll know what's going on because you'll be in the community. You'll be in the know. So thank you, Ayoka. I appreciate that reminder. So I'll continue to say that. So if you guys don't see me, it's not that I'm not doing it. It's not that I've fallen off. I take a break so that I can come back refreshed and give you guys new content in October. And when I say it's new and refreshed, trust me, it will blow your mind. So, all right, you guys, been on here long enough. Have an amazing rest of your Friday, your weekend. I may come on tomorrow, depends on what I get. What's today? I may come on because it's getting close to the end of the month. Don't forget, we have our scripts for success on the 30th or the 31st in the community. If anybody is interested in that, you're welcome. You can email executive.assistant. It is a fee to join if you're not part of the community, and you know if you're part of the community. And I'm talking about within the app because it's already posted in the app. They already know what time. They already know at every end of the month we do a script for success for the next month. If you would like to do that, you can reach out to executive.assistant and ask her for the link so that you can register and join us. It's literally 30 minutes in and out, and we write our scripts for the next year. Alrighty then. This live is closing. Thank you so much for everyone who came up and spoke. I love when you guys come up and give your information. That helps me know what you need, what more you need from me. And I just appreciate you guys for allowing me to be who I am called to be on this earth, and to birth things out of you and shift you and keep you disrupting in your realm. Have an amazing day. Bye.